Hi everyone, welcome back to PH Podcast. In this session, we are going to discuss about 80-20 principle, which is called as Pareto principle. What the principle, 80% of the results come from 20% of the product. So the best example we can give is Tata Motors, where a majority of the income comes from Jaguar Land Rover. And if we take Tata Chemicals, for example, the majority of the income comes from soda ash, and if we take ITC, the majority of the income is from cigarette products. So, how the company develops the product which contributes for the majority of their income?
Okay, this is discovered by a guy called Vilfredo Petrio. He's an Italian economist.
Okay.
What he realized in Italy was that all the 80% and 20% rule came from that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. And that was producing all the food. So from that he did further analysis. So how does this relate to investment is what your question is.
Yeah.
Forget company, right? What you're saying is also true. Let's talk in terms of for how can we use this 80-20 rule in management of portfolio and investment. So what it's basically saying that 80% of your returns in your portfolio should come from 20% of your investment.
Okay.
That's one way. So this is a guide for investors to focus more on the yield of the most significant returns and consider focusing on less on the productive assets. So when you look at your portfolio every year, once a year I've asked you to look at it.
Yeah.
So you look at it and see, you'll notice that 80% of your returns are coming from those 20% of those investment stocks. So this can lead to better insight into your investment.
Okay.
So further he says that if 20% of research you put in could generate 80% more profits for you. So instead of following Nere Ferry on YouTube, any guy who's coming social influencer and investing based on influencing, focus on doing research.
Okay.
That if you more effort you put, more significant is going to be your return. And your return is completely a compounding of your effort which you're willing to put. So it is nice that you say 80-20, but the basic understanding is for every ounce of effort you put, your returns will be multiplied by that much percentage points.
Okay.
So focus on that. And instead of what you call trying to spread yourself too thin, focus on
Deep diving.
deep diving. So go deep, don't go wide,
Okay.
as Anand always says. So your investment strategy should also be like that. That most of your returns come from owning those core companies, those like your ITC, your Tatas, and you make sure you enter at the right time. You do your research, making sure you buy it at value, and keep on building on that.
Okay.
Right? Keep on adding. Then you'll see that return over a period of time compounding. If you keep on buying 30-40 companies and every new company that comes, every IPO comes, you keep putting and your effort is fragmented, right? And you don't pay attention to what you're doing. And before you know it, you won't be getting any returns, you'll be losing.
And we cannot track also.
Correct.
Many companies will
Correct.
not.
This is also true even in your accounts. If you have bank accounts, every Tom, Dick and Harry branch you open.
Okay.
Any guy who is offering you digital bank, they send you some offer and you keep on opening. You will have bank accounts in every single place and you won't even know these bank accounts are there.
Okay.
Same thing true in credit cards. You take credit cards from everyone who's offering you credit cards. You'll have 30-40 credit cards you won't even know. And you take multiple loans, you won't even know the amount of EMI you're paying. You'll just be going everywhere, you'll be bleeding. So everywhere it applies to consolidate, focus and apply effort. And this is true not only in investing, like he says in land or his productivity, even in a company if you see, a company is doing very well, 20% of the company is carrying the weight of 80% of the remaining 80%. This is true in our country also. If you see down south, most of the income in India is generated by the southern states and Mumbai, and we are carrying the weight of the entire country. It's true in the US also, where California and the East Coast carry the weight of the entire country.
Okay.
So this is true in most places you see. This kind of lopsided thing would be there, which is okay, but this kind of insight, I'm not being critical of it. I'm just saying as an investor, you can see these insights and invest accordingly. This is what my idea is.
And if we take example of IPL also, the top 3 batsmen will score the majority of the runs.
Correct.
And this principle can be applied in almost many places.
Yes. But what this principle offers you insight, meaning gives you opportunities. So when you see that 90% of India is being carried by the southern states, that means the remaining 80% has potential. So that explains why Tata is opening plants in Assam,
Okay.
Northeast, because those are potential areas there, because there's nobody there. So it's also the way you interpret these rules and the way you gives you insight. All these things give you insight, but what you decide to do is action.
Okay.
So your action should be based on insight, and that's what it finally boils down to.
So I hope that this video is informative and you had some knowledge about 80-20 principle and how that can be applied for your investment and managing your portfolio. So if you found this video informative, please share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel for more kind of videos. See you in another episode with an interesting topic. Thanks for watching the video.
Thank you.